Track Review.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well, and it is time for a track review. I'm going to be taking on another teaser track, another single from the forthcoming Joji record, Ballads 1, Joji, aka George Miller, formerly Filthy Frank and Pink Guy, now on the 88 Rising label. You guys know by now his transition from YouTube to the music industry, although he has not transitioned entirely from memes. Dude is still kind of a memer. Still kind of a memer, but still. New track, Test Drive. I've liked a couple of tracks from this new album so far as the teasers go. Let's see if some of those improvements that we've heard on the vocal and instrumental front continue on to this new cut that seems to be making the rounds and getting a lot of attention. Again, Joji, Test Drive, Ballads 1 album dropping October 26th. Looks like it is 12 tracks, 35 minutes on a giant undertaking. So, yeah, let's give it a shot. Joji, Test Drive, ba-bam. Okay, Joji, Test Drive, new track, new single over here. Yeah, this is probably the least interesting I have found all of these teaser tracks to be so far, honestly. Doug Slow Dancing thought the Clams Casino song could have had more to it, but still was a somewhat interesting moment. But this track to me, I'll say that it was not exactly a direct regression to a lot of what he was doing on his In Tongues EP, but it wasn't really that much better. Like, sure, the beat was a bit bouncier, a bit more full as far as texture and sound and color, had a bit more bass and body to it. His lyrics were a bit more dense, had a little bit more going on, but still, the instrumental overall was really redundant. The rhyme scheme was annoyingly repetitive to the point where it almost felt like almost insulting. Like, you don't think your audience could handle like a bit more nuanced of a rhyme scheme or something. And finally, my least favorite thing about this song, least favorite thing about the track is it just sounds like a Post Malone B-side, dude. It sounds like a Post Malone B-side. You know, it just sounds like a drabber take on like what Post was just doing on his last record. It's like a slightly more glistening, atmospheric version of pretty much the same instrumental and vocal style off of that album. I do see Joji vocally breaking away from that a little bit when he gets into this deep, moany register that kind of reminds me of the frontman of that band Beirut, Zach Condon, for some reason. On the bridge, if I didn't specify that already, on the bridge of the track, which I thought was pretty neat, was a good change up. But for the most part, this just sounds like a Post Malone leftover, a boring, bland, riding on dudes' coattails, Post Malone leftover, which is really the least gratifying thing about it. So, I don't know, man. Not really that great lyrically, not really my favorite tune I've heard of these singles so far, and really the least original and memorable in terms of sound. I mean, so close to Posty style that, you know, in passing, I could mistake it for just like a Post Malone song or something if I wasn't paying attention. Again, I feel like this is another moment vocally for Joji that just feels really bland and run-of-the-mill. And I've had my issues with his vocal range and delivery before in that it feels very nondescript and very drab. And I think some of his latest tracks have changed my mind about that a little bit. It seems like he's kind of getting into his upper register a little bit. He's getting a bit bolder and more passionate in his singing, but this song is definitely not an example of that, and I think I will leave it at that. Didn't really dig this track all that much. Just felt like fodder. Just felt like filler. Over here next to my head is another video that you guys, another review that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this track. Did you love it? Hate it? Why? Anthony Fantano, Joji, Ballads 1, Test Drive, forever.